In 2009, a small group of engineers in California claimed they had built something revolutionary, a device that could transmit power wirelessly across miles. No cables, no towers, no infrastructure. Early private demonstrations reportedly worked. Investors flew in. NDAs were signed. Millions were pledged. And then, the company vanished. The website went offline. Patents were quietly withdrawn. Employees stopped answering calls. No lawsuits. No public bankruptcy. No official shutdown. Just silence. What happened to the technology that was supposed to change America's energy future? The startup called itself AetherLink Labs. Founded by former defense contractor engineers, the company operated out of a secured warehouse outside San Jose, California. According to early investors, AetherLink had developed a prototype capable of delivering electricity wirelessly over long distances using a resonance-based transmission system. They claimed it was more efficient than anything since the experiments of Nikola Tesla. Internal demo footage, later leaked anonymously, showed light bulbs powering on across a football field-sized space without visible wiring. Investors reportedly saw electric vehicles charging without plugs, entire server racks powered remotely, a small home running on transmitted energy. One venture capital firm allegedly committed $22 million. The U.S. Department of Energy requested a private technical briefing. And then in early 2010, something changed. Employees began receiving unusual security directives. Access levels were restricted. Certain lab sections were sealed. One engineer later claimed the company received a visit from federal representatives who were not introduced by name. 3 weeks later, all development halted. Former employees described the final days as controlled chaos. Hard drives were confiscated. Prototype units were dismantled overnight. Servers were physically removed. Staff were issued updated non-disclosure agreements with expanded federal compliance clauses. One employee who spoke anonymously said, "It wasn't a shutdown. It was an erasure." Publicly, AetherLink Labs simply stopped existing. No press release. No bankruptcy filing. No acquisition announcement. Their domain expired. Their patents were marked as withdrawn prior to approval. Attempts by journalists to track corporate filings led to a dissolved Shell LLC registered in Delaware. When a tech reporter from Wired attempted to contact former executives in 2011, every listed number had been disconnected. The building they operated from was emptied, leased to a logistics company. No visible trace of laboratory infrastructure remained. There are only 3 dominant theories about what happened. It didn't work. Some argue the demonstrations were staged. That wireless transmission at scale simply wasn't viable. The shutdown was quiet to avoid embarrassment and lawsuits. But that doesn't explain the federal briefings, or the withdrawn patents, or why investors never pursued legal action. National security classification. Wireless large-scale power transmission would have massive military implications. Portable battlefield energy. Drone systems powered remotely. Forward bases without fuel supply lines. If the tech worked, it may have been classified under federal authority. Under U.S. law, certain patents can be placed under secrecy orders for national security reasons. Hundreds are every year. Could AetherLink have been absorbed into a black project? If so, it would never be acknowledged. Economic suppression. America's energy infrastructure is worth trillions. Utilities. Oil. Grid networks. Power generation. A device eliminating cables and infrastructure would destabilize entire industries. Was pressure applied? Was funding quietly withdrawn under advisement? No paper trail proves this, but the silence remains unusual. In 2018, an anonymous file appeared on an encrypted forum. It contained what appeared to be internal schematics labeled Ether Resonant Platform, Revision 4. The metadata traced back to a government-contracted research facility in Nevada. The file was removed within hours. Archived copies were corrupted. And since then, no confirmed sightings of the technology have surfaced. But former employees insist. It worked. If AetherLink Labs failed, why was there no fallout? If it succeeded, why was it erased? If it was classified, why were all public records scrubbed? Sometimes revolutionary technology fails. Sometimes it's acquired. And sometimes it disappears without a trace. If you believe breakthrough technology should never vanish in silence, subscribe. Because some of the most important stories in America aren't the ones that make headlines. They're the ones that disappear. Comment below. Do you think this was a failed startup, a classified project, or something else entirely? And if you value deep investigative documentaries like this, hit like and turn on notifications, because the next story might already be gone.